Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Bethesda hit us with a release that no one was expecting. Stonemaier wants to take the Commander-in-Chief to court, and Star Wars Celebration brought us some exciting announcements. That's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your guild master, Rick Perry, a lump of electrified jelly piloting a bone mech covered in meat armor.
And I am your guild master, Baron Kane. And, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. We're all just firing synapses.
Yeah, just riding around in a bone and meat mech.
That being said, make sure you take care of your bone and meat mech, people. Like, you might just be synapses, but, proper robot care is very important.
Very much so. Fine-tuned machine. It needs maintenance.
Keep up with your self-care and your hydration, and if you take meds, make sure to remember to take your meds. If you cannot produce your own brain chemical, store-bought is fine.
Mm-hmm.
All that being said, we have some stuff to go over. I am shocked that there will be no Miss the Mark segment this week.
Man, I feel like I could maybe think of something real fast.
We could drag something up if we really wanted to, but I don't think...
Yeah, but I don't want to force it.
We're petty, but we're not that petty.
Well, I mean, let's not go too far.
But looking through our topics to cover, there are a few fun things I'd like to start with.
Yeah, I really think that the biggest news right now, not trying to take control of this conversation, but
go for it.
The biggest news right now is, at this point in time, at the time of our recording, is, Oblivion.
Yeah. At the time of recording, it has just been released today.
Which is crazy. Never would have thought that would happen. I do have feelings about this, but yeah, crazy.
I would love to hear your feelings about this.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm probably going to buy it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think Bethesda's kind of fucked up for this.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, so, why didn't they remaster Morrowind? Or why didn't they just make the next Elder Scrolls? My suspicion is because Sky Oblivion was getting really close to getting completed.
Sure.
And it comes in and pretty much just undercuts the whole thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
The Sky Oblivion crew were very, very gracious about everything. They seemed real fucking chill about it. And it's like, man, that's probably why I'm not in charge of anything, because I would have not handled that with quiet dignity and grace.
Right. Are you a Game Pass subscriber at all?
No.
Depending on how much time you would put into, and this is advice for anyone, not just for Guildmaster Baron, but depending on how much time you're going to put into Oblivion Remastered, it might be worth just looking at the Game Pass for a bit, because of course you're getting some other good games with it. And looking it up now, the PC Game Pass is $12 a month, and your first 14 days you get for $1.
Nice.
And the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is a part of the PC Game Pass currently.
I will say it looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah. I have seen some funny memes on the TikTok where people are already encountering bugs, and they're like, it's perfection. Because it's what they want out of their Bethesda game. They want the jank.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, if I got a non-janky Bethesda game, I don't know what I would do. I would notice, and I probably wouldn't be okay with it.
But if you consider that the remake is $50 if you were to just buy it outright, or what is it, $70 if you get the $60 or $70 if you get the enhanced edition?
$60 for the deluxe edition.
That's it.
$50 for the base game.
Yeah, if you consider 50 or 60 bucks, I mean, you could do a Game Pass for, I don't know, four or almost 5 months for that same price and play all the Oblivion you want during that time.
But that wouldn't own the game, Guildmaster Rick.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I feel bad just for suggesting it.
I mean, except for the fact that, I mean, I still don't think that the whole digital... I am an old man shaking his fist at a cloud when I say that it's very much not a guarantee that you own the games on Steam either. So it's like, whatever you want to do.
It's a little bit more solid than a Game Pass, but not by a ton. I don't know. I was considering signing up for PC Game Pass recently just for that new South of Midnight.
Oh, yes. I've had my eye on that game for a real long time, and I am excited to get my hands on it.
Yeah, I've wanted to play it ever since the first teaser trailer that I saw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and yeah, that teaser trailer is all I needed.
Both the good and the bad reviews I've seen for it only have me more excited.
Oh, yeah?
Because the good reviews I see, I'm like, yes, this looks like a fantastic game. And the bad reviews I see, all the reasons people say it's bad are all the reasons I know I'm going to love it.
I kind of think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but like a lot of the people are saying it bad are just because it's woke, and it's like
exactly.
It's like, yeah, okay, but a lot of people are also saying it's bad because it's gameplay light and story heavy.
Oh no!
And I'm like, okay, that works for me.
I already said I'm in. I don't understand.
Stop selling.
You want me to pay more? I mean, I can. I mean, damn. Wouldn't that be funny if games had like the ability to like tip? Like after you played it for a while, if you could go back and send them a tip?
That would be interesting. I feel like that would change a lot of things in the game industry if it were possible. And I'm not sure if it would be for the better.
Oh no, I don't want them to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to do it.
Right.
There are some like indie TTRPGs and stuff that I'm like, I don't want to pay a little extra now. But yeah.
What I often do for that is during Steam sales, I'll see that a game that I love, like a little indie RPG or a little indie game that I loved, what is like on a Steam sale, and I'll gift it to friends. And then I got to spend like extra money and give extra money for the developers, and my friends get to have an experience of a game I loved.
That's a really good idea, actually.
And it's almost like tipping the developer.
Especially those friends that might be having a hard time or something like that, you know? Mm-hmm. You find that friend that's between jobs right now, especially in this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if they don't end up playing it, even if they end up not having the time, just seeing the notification that someone had the presence of mind and to buy them a game, like, could help more than you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know there were times where I was doing really bad, in life or whatever, and I'd have someone buy me a game, and it's like this actually really helped. Of course, I like to consider myself a bit of a gamer. But so, that being my main hobby, it's like, this actually went a long way to making me feel quite a bit better.
100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next thing I've just got on the agenda here. So we talked a lot about that Avengers, it's Avengers, the Avengers cast reveal, and about how it took like 5.5 hours of mostly silence.
I know where this is going.
Well, Marvel's done it again and has released an 8-hour-long Wolverine breathing exercise.
Yep. And there's a bit of a surprise partway through it, so.
I will say, if this had been released first, or I shouldn't say first, if this had been released and then they did a normal cast announcement, I would be much more tickled by this. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, look at this neat thing that Marvel did that almost nobody's gonna watch this 8-hour long troll of Hugh Jackman just breathing while staring down the barrel of the camera. But to get it right after that 5.5-hour disaster of an announcement,
right, it feels like a little bit of a slap in the face.
Yeah, it just immediately loses all the humor.
Yep, because it's almost like they listened to what everybody was saying about that cast release, and they're like, "Oh, could have been worse. Could have been like this."
Yeah.
Or even better. Actually, you know what? I know how that could have been even better if they would have released it on Ryan Reynolds' YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds, I'm pretty sure they are just setting up as the jester of the MCU, where he can make fun of the MCU all he fucking wants, and he gets jester's privilege.
Yes.
So if they would have...
Which I feel like Deadpool should have.
Oh, 100%, yeah. So if they would have taken that Wolverine video and released it on Ryan Reynolds' YouTube, then that would have been like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is really, poking at the MCU because of that disaster of a cast release.
Meanwhile, they're the ones who orchestrated the whole thing, and we would have all fell for it.
Yes, exactly. Hire me, Marvel.
Maybe you won't have so many PR disasters. Or maybe you'll have more. No promises.
Maybe I'll have more. Who the fuck knows?
So I don't know if you've been watching anything, but as I've stated before, I'm a big Black Mirror fan, and I immediately binged the new season as soon as it came out. There are a lot of people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there who have said it's not as good as like the first season, that like none of them has ever been as good as the first season. I personally disagree. I thought this season was fantastic.
Cool.
There are a few episodes, and just like every episode of Casters Guild, you might get some spoilers here.
Okay.
Plaything is an episode that features he played Doctor Who, the 12th Doctor.
Wait, 12th Doctor? 9, 10, Matt Smith?
No, he was 11.
Oh, Peter Capaldi.
Yes. And it was kind of a sequel to the interactive Bandersnatch movie.
Sure.
And it all centers around this little Lemmings-esque video game called Thronglets. And it's got a really neat premise to it where the Thronglets become like sentient and choose to upgrade themselves in such a way that they can upgrade humanity. But they released a mobile game to go alongside it, and you can actually play Thronglets. And throughout playing the game, the actual mobile game, they will learn, and there are different paths to the game based off of the actions you take as you help them grow and build their own little society.
Oh.
Which I think... if Black Mirror is going to continue, and it's going to continue to get better, that they have to do more things like Bandersnatch, and like they did in this season, where they're kind of breaking into reality more and messing with the audience. Mm-hmm. Like another episode called Beta Noir, I think is how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Had a character who had invented a device where whatever they speak into it becomes the truth. Okay. It's like gaslighting to the highest degree. Like literally they gaslight the world, and it's just like every lie that they speak into the little device changes the reality to where it is now true. And one of the things they did is the main character changes the name of a popular chicken restaurant halfway through the episode, just to make her rival seem like she's going crazy.
Oh my gosh!
Because they were having like a workplace argument where her rival knew that this place's name was Barney's because her boyfriend worked there for years and wore the hat every day. It's like, it's Barney's, but other people at her work were like, no, we're pretty sure it's Bernie's. And so she speaks into the device and makes it so it's always been Bernie's. So when they look it up, like her rival gets proved wrong, and it, makes her feel like she's going crazy. And that's just like a first little step into like many steps that, you know, goes to her making her rival feel like she's going crazy. But what Netflix did to kind of screw with the audience is like half the audience got an alternate version of the episode that switches the two names. So like half the audience actually was like, oh, it was always Bernie's and she changed it to Barney's. And half the episode was like, it was always Barney's and she changed it to Bernie's.
That's fucked up.
So like when you're talking about the episode with other people, you have this moment just like the character did in the actual show.
Wow. That's hilarious.
And I feel like those are the kind of little things they need to continue to do if they're going to improve the series.
That's fair. Yeah, I think I would be happy with that. Because, I mean, they kind of have to keep pushing that envelope. And I think the only way that they're going to be able to do that is just, you know, messing with the audience themselves. And it's directly, too. Mm-hmm. They are essentially breaking the fourth wall to do this.
Exactly. And yeah, whether you're a Black Mirror fan or not, the game Thronglets that's tied into the episode play thing, I think it's an excellent little game. It took me, I don't know, just a few hours to go from the beginning to the end of the narrative of the game. I think it's definitely worth anybody's time, whether they're fans of Black Mirror or not. But speaking of things we're fans of, the Dropout Improv Tour just announced their dates for 2025.
I would very much like to go to this.
Well, it's more possible than it has been in previous years because it used to just be like West Coast only.
Yeah. That was one of my biggest frustrations, which is like, I say frustrations, but it's like, okay, sure. But it is still frustrating that, you know, something that I love so much is like restricted to over there. But now, Indianapolis, here I come. Except it's in June, and I don't think I'll be able to make it. Oh, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to try.
Look, if you're going to try, I feel like Indianapolis,
June
Indiana.
4th, though?
Yeah.
Wednesday? God.
If you're going to try, I feel like Indianapolis, Indiana isn't that much of a distance difference for you than Louisville, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And if you go to Louisville, maybe we can meet in the middle and both go to Louisville.
I'll have to check the math out, but
yeah, depending.
Yeah.
Because Louisville is a couple hours from me, you know. But anyway, for anyone who doesn't live on the West Coast, they will be visiting Indianapolis, Indiana on June 4th, Louisville, Kentucky on June 5th, St. Louis, Missouri on June 7th, Chicago, Illinois, June 8th, Phoenix, Arizona on June 18th, and then the rest of it is very much West Coast. It's California, Washington, and California. But you know, I ain't even looked up how much tickets are.
Fair. I haven't either.
Let's see. Apparently, tickets will be available on Live Nation, starting with an artist pre-sale beginning today at 10 a.m. No, Wednesday 10 a.m. local time for each individual tour stop. Apparently.
Oh.
Additional pre-sales will run throughout the week ahead of general on sale beginning Friday at 10 a.m. local time. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm reading this off of an article Variety, and it's not very...
Sure.
It's not very clear. So instead, I'm going to do the research for you all in real time and go straight to Live Nation.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, just to let you know. June 4th?
It looks like ticket sales have started. And they range from... Okay, artist presale is the only one that's going on right now. And the artist presale range from $53 to $87, depending on where you're sitting.
That's not bad.
And I guess we'll see once the actual ticket sales, you know, past the artist presale goes up.
VIP club access, Dropout, and not a concert ticket. Okay.
And I've just checked, and it is the same price range for... pretty much every other venue.
Oh, it's a $30 upgrade. What does that mean, though?
I'm guessing that's the difference between the $53 ticket and the $87 ticket.
Yeah, because it's fucking maybe. No, What I think it is like you said, depending on where you're sitting, is where you'll get. If you wanted to go, like, let's just say Orchestra Center, you'd be sitting there and probably paying the $87 to sit there, but then you'd pay an extra $30 to be able to do the VIP shit.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, either way, once actual tickets go on sale, I will definitely be looking into the possibility of going, because I don't think we need to tell anybody how big of a fan of Dropout we are.
Right.
I feel like we've told them all enough.
So anyways, let's go ahead and go at it again.
Oh man, Olympics was fun.
Olympics?
That's the newest episode of Game Changer.
Oh yeah, I haven't made it there yet.
You're in for a treat, friend.
That first episode they did was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited to see. I'm actually already excited to see the season finale.
Right.
Because their season finales are fucking. They just keep getting better and better.
And for them to start like that with the season premiere, what are they waiting? What are they holding off on?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? I'm going to bring this up because I don't know when else we're going to talk about it. GameStop did something weird this past weekend.
Tell me.
So, recently, 4/20 passed. As we all know,
Sure.
It was Easter, but it just so happens to be another type of holiday for certain people.
Yep. WrestleMania. What?
And GameStop, and it was not a joke, promised that anyone trading in their Xbox Series X on that day would get $420.69 for their Xbox.
Jesus Christ.
Which,
Nice.
First of all, that means you're getting 85% more than its normal trade-in credit value. So excellent deal. But I don't know who is currently in charge of GameStop's marketing department, promo department, whoever it is that put this thing together. But to lean in to like, haha, it's the funny numbers is not something you'd normally expect out of a corporation like GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd figured they'd be afraid of a backlash to encourage the 420 and the 69.
But here we are. It's funny though. I don't know. I think once your company became a meme, you kind of have to start leaning into it.
That's true. That's true. They either have to embrace it or go under, because the only thing keeping them alive at this point is the meme of it all.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you want people to keep giving your business money, you kind of have to lean into the joke.
Yep. And that's probably going to get you more money, honestly.
Yeah. There's something about the current consumer generation that is willing to spend a little bit of money for the joke of it, for the ha-ha of it. You know, they'd rather spend a little bit more money with the company that makes them laugh, you know, and there's something questionable about making those kinds of decisions, but you know, it is the case.
Yep.
That's one of the ways Cards Against Humanity has been so successful over the years.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I think they knew what they were starting out.
Yes.
So, you know, it's funny, you brought up at the beginning of the, you know, before we were recording, when we were just hanging out in the green room, you know, eating our prearranged chocolates, that it's sad that we're not going to have a Miss the Mark segment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, because we didn't really get any big Wizards news this time around.
Nothing that would fit the Miss the Mark segment anyway.
However, what we do have, we can still say Miss the Mark.
Okay.
Except it's the entire country of America.
Oh man, you know what? I know where you're going with this, and there's a lot to go into this with this. So before we do it, let's just go ahead and let people know that without having to deal with any of this Miss the Mark nonsense, because it is an American-based company, they can get a lightsaber better than a stick.
Where?
Could you use an awesome lightsaber for cosplay, dueling, or home decoration? Check out Level Up Sabers, the only lightsaber guaranteed better than a stick. And with lots of fairly priced options, including baselit and Xenopixel, you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for without breaking the bank.
Every Level Up Saber comes equipped with color change, gesture controls, volume control, sound fonts, and flash on clash. With the baselit options being strong enough to duel with, and the Xenopixel options adding even more cool effects. To check them out and help Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
And with that, let's get into this America Missing the Mark.
America Missing the Mark. America missed... Oh, wow, we alliterated. So, man, these tariffs, they're really fucking us, man.
Yeah, it's like, killing industries.
Yep, we had a topic all lined up last week where the tariffs are fucking with retro handhelds.
And let's not even talking about how, like, just the week before that, we were talking about how it's ruining the indie game industry.
Yep. So we've got tariffs killing retro handhelds. Excuse me, sorry. I'm getting emotional.
Honestly, not even just the indie handheld industry. If anyone other than Nintendo were the one coming out with a handheld soon, I feel like the tariffs would have killed it. But like Nintendo just won't let their shit die.
All that said, I'm still not 100% convinced that they will come out of this unaffected. Like, I know that they're saying that, you know, the prices are going to be the prices. They're still going to release them on time. Until they release these games, these consoles on time at the price that they advertised, I will remain unconvinced. That's saying if the tariffs aren't lifted.
I definitely agree that they definitely won't go unaffected. Mm-hmm. Right. Historically, Nintendo has been the type of company to eat it themselves, to like take that effect on themselves. Just like, I think it was one of our earliest seasons, I was telling you about how, like, when Nintendo was pushing bankruptcy, rather than filing bankrupt like the CEO of Wonder Bread did at the time, because it was the same year, the CEO just took a 50% pay cut and saved the company.
Okay, that's cool.
So that's kind of the type of mindset that they have. So I feel like that they're definitely not going to go unaffected. What I think is 100% sure, no matter what, whether they end up raising the price or eating it themselves or whatever, it's definitely not going to kill that handheld.
Fair.
But I feel like if it were any other company, it just might. There are other companies that aren't necessarily indie companies that if they were coming out with a handheld, like right about now, they would go, no, we're just going to cancel it or delay it for however many years until we don't have to worry about this tariff. But that being said, there are a lot of small indie retro handheld companies that are not going to be able to survive it, and it is going to kill their company.
And speaking of people who aren't going to survive it, so a whole publisher of a board game is suspending operations and laying off its staff.
It's a good developer too.
I don't like the game, but a lot of people do.
I do enjoy Sentinels Multiverse a lot.
A lot of people do.
And this is greater than games that we're talking about. Sentinels of the Multiverse, of course, is their big release, but you know they are responsible for a few other things too. But they recently had to suspend operations and lay off a huge amount of staff. Mm-hmm. And they 100% said it's due to the impact of the 145% tariff rate. That is such anything. Like, I thought they were ridiculous back when they were talking about 50%, 80%, and now they're above 100%. This is just way out of hand. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Greater Than Games is not. It's like it is an indie publisher. It is a smaller publisher, but it's definitely not one of the smallest.
Right.
Like they're definitely more of a big fish in a little pond type of developer.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, them being a indie publisher, they are definitely part of the group of people who we thought would be the first to go.
Yeah.
The indies and stuff. Kind of crazy that one of the bigger ones is the ones that drop first, but
I feel like there might be a lot of the smaller ones that are also dropping. It's just not quote unquote newsworthy, so we're not hearing about it.
True.
Like I know for a fact, Terrible Games, which is one of the developers we got to talk to at Origins, they were the developers of that Black Mold game that we were looking at. And what was that other one that you were looking at that was like a Ragnarok style battle card game? Volca.
Oh, I even own that game, motherfucker. God damn.
You bought it while we were there because the dude was telling you about it.
Yep.
And he's struggling like hard. He's like talking about maybe not being able to move forward.
Fuck.
But that being said, he has also talked about joining in on the next topic.
Right.
The developer of Wingspan, Stone Mayer Games, which they're also responsible for a lot of other really high profile games, like Wingspan has won a ton of awards. They're talking about a lawsuit against Donald Trump. And Terrible Games is one of the many developers who's going to be joining them in that lawsuit.
Good. Does it have a list of the developers that are going to be joining the lawsuit?
Let me look. I don't think it does. I just know Terrible Games is going to be the ones because I follow them on TikTok, and he was talking about it on his TikTok.
Gotcha.
They do, in the article here that I'm reading on Polygon, they do mention Cephalofair Games as one of the ones who's joining Stone Mayer, and Cephalofair is responsible for Gloomhaven and Frosthaven. So another pretty big one. And they are calling out to a lot of indie developers, every indie developer they can get to join them in the fight. Like they're basically trying to rally the indie game industry against Donald Trump and his tariffs.
Yeah, I think that they should probably open up the lawsuit to maybe not just indie game developers, but just anybody that's being fucked by these. So like, it really, I mean, maybe stick with indie shit, but maybe indie game developers, indie publishers, indie game developer, or indie TTRPG developers, indie board game developers, just any of these indies who, in reality aren't big corporations and aren't, protected by the government, should definitely join together and go in on this lawsuit.
I will say, I'll read this directly from the article on Polygon, that the lawyer who is heading up the case, Stegmeyer, originally solicited queries from other businesses impacted by the Trump's administration tariffs, but less than 24 hours later, the law firm had, quote unquote, as many clients as the case can handle. Stegmeyer updated the post to include a form for others to express how the tariffs are directly damaging livelihoods, saying that information will be used to reinforce the case by continuing to gather information from sole proprietors and companies who are directly impacted by the tariffs. And they said they have been contacted by over 100 companies impacted by the tariffs since Monday.
Wow.
So people are coming out in a big way, and they're ready to speak out against this, which is fantastic.
Yep. I mean, hell, maybe we should get multiple lawsuits going. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that other industries see that this is happening and that they are emboldened and start their own movements. And if the ball gets rolling, the movements can combine, and 50 small movements become one massive movement. But the government in general, and Donald Trump specifically, need to know that these tariffs are bad for the people, and that the people are not going to stand for it.
Yep. But it is going to take actions like this.
Yes, absolutely.
And because, a lot of people are just, talking about doing things and just doing little speeches, but not actually doing anything. And it sounds like a lot of people are just going to have to start taking shit into their own hands, going to these lawsuits directly. Even writing our senators isn't even helping anymore. We just need to, do these lawsuits. We need to do these protests. We need to fund people who are, going to do these protests. Because I'm not saying that if you're not in a protest that you're not doing anything. That's not the case. It's everybody has their things that they are good at, or things that they need to focus on because they might have a family, or that they can't really just leave and go do a thing that might get them hurt or arrested or deported.
Right.
So, do the safe thing.
There are plenty of other roles to play.
Yes. Don't let, if you don't go to a protest, don't let people guilt you for it, because I'm sure you have your reasons.
One I've been looking into myself is there are veterans who are organizing to do a march on the Capitol on June 6th to protest the cuts to the Departments of Veterans Affairs, where, thousands of veterans have lost their jobs due to cuts that Donald Trump and his administration have made, which isn't really necessarily related to what we're talking about right now, but just kind of my point that there are a lot of movements going on that are going to let this administration know we're not just going to sit here and take it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you want to get active, like, that's just two examples of movements that are happening. Like, research and find something that maybe you want to stand behind, and the way you can get active.
And maybe let us know too, because we're always looking for new ways to support new people to, help carry on the fight.
Absolutely. Be careful about it, because, our Discord is not like private or anything like that. Right. So, be careful of what you implicate yourself in.
Yeah, but, when I say let us know, I mean, maybe let me and Rick know. You feel free to message us directly.
Mm-hmm. Or our email inbox is always open. Correct.
So, you give us these things, and then we can share it on Discord, and, we'll carry the implication.
Absolutely. But yeah, good on Stone Mayor Games for getting out there and fighting the good fight. And I honestly was not sure how the indie scene was going to survive this. And if they are, this is probably going to be how. In less serious news, Doom: The Dark Ages is on its way out, and the developers of Doom are doing some really cool stuff leading up to its release.
Yeah?
So first of all, if you go to our Discord, you can find in our Geeky Deals channel that there is currently a Doom bundle, ID and Friends, on Humble Bundle. And for $28, you can get the entire bundle, and it includes Doom Eternal, 1 year pass to like the Doom Eternal online play. It gets you Wolfenstein: The Old Bloods, Wolfenstein 2, Doom the, I don't know, I want to say it's 2016 version. I could be wrong on that year. The original Doom and Doom 2 and Doom 3, Doom 64, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Lots of really awesome games that you can get for just $28.
Hell yeah.
And on top of that, if you are a big spender, I'm not, but if you are, through Limited Run Games, which we've talked about them, I love them as a company. Limited Run Games is doing a Doom and Doom 2 Will It Run edition, which is selling for $666.66, and it is limited to 666 units.
Oh boy.
Now, if you get it, it won't ship until like February of next year, because it is a very limited thing, and like they're not mass producing this. But it's going to come with both Doom 1 and Doom 2, the game, on PC or the console of your choice. But the box itself will be a Tamagotchi-esque computer that will be able to run Doom.
That's hilarious.
And if you don't know, it's been an internet meme for a very long time that when anybody comes out with anything that runs on electricity, like, one of the first questions is, will it run Doom? And it got to the point that you could run Doom on just about anything. Mm-hmm. So now you can literally run Doom on the box that the collector's edition comes in. And there's even a cacodemon, which for anyone who doesn't know what a cacodemon is, it's kind of like the Doom version of a beholder. A cacodemon with a screen in its face that will also run Doom. And it'll come with a bunch of other really cool stuff. It's got a 4-cassette soundtrack set. It's got a set of trading cards with a chance to get an autographed cacodemon rookie card. A floating cacodemon figure, which it's really cool how they do that. They use like the magnetic base figure in order to actually, it's literally a floating figure.
Wow.
So a lot of really cool stuff coming in that. It's way out of my price range, but I just think it's neat that these are the kind of things that I look at and I go, that's really cool. That's the kind of collectibles I want to see companies releasing. And while I'm going to be spending my money on many other games, the Doom Dark Ages does look pretty cool. Probably not going to be buying it, but it does look pretty neat. Like I said, I gotta buy a Switch too, man. Like that there goes my video game budget, you know. In other news, Star Wars Celebration recently happened. And some things got announced. Is there a particular announcement that you are excited about there, Baron?
Couple, actually. Like, I mean, the anime Star Wars cartoon stuff I'm really excited for. And the Mandalorian and Grogu, pretty excited for.
When you say the anime, is that the Darth Maul show that we're talking about?
No, I'm pretty sure. Remember the one they already released? Aren't they doing another one? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Visions. You're talking about Visions.
Visions. That's it.
Yes, volume Visions will be getting a volume 3. Yes.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
And as sad as it is, you know, I'm looking forward to what's his name? Rory McCann? Hold on. Yeah, Rory McCann coming back and bringing Balin back to the screen after the untimely death of Ray Stevenson.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm glad that they're keeping character. I'm glad that they recast it. So I think there was something else.
Well, let's just go down the list and maybe something will trigger. Okay. We got Hayden Christensen returning to Anakin Skywalker.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Because I want to know how. Because technically he returned in the last Ahsoka. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so how is he returning?
I think the real big announcement of it is it's going to be like a CGI mostly thing that doesn't look half bad because it's like the young version of him that they're really wanting to put in the series. Is that the case? That's what I'm looking at least like the pictures and whatnot that I've seen.
Yeah. The one picture I saw, I thought was a promotional picture from the last one.
Maybe
because he did play that young character in the last one, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Disney, invite us to the Star Wars Celebration next year so we can report on this better, please.
I'm getting kind of upset that I keep getting snubbed like this.
It's like they don't even know we exist.
It's just lame.
Let's see. There was a whole Mandalorian and Grogu panel talking about how the movie will be headed to theaters May 22nd of next year. Ryan Gosling is going to be in the new Star Wars Starfighter, directed by Sean Levy.
I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling, I believe that's the one. Yeah, that's the one that they're doing together, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds exciting to me. I mean, I'm a Ryan Gosling fan, so, you know, I would be happy to see him in anything.
They're making some changes to the Smuggler's Run ride at Galaxy's Edge.
Sure.
Some people are saying there were some much needed changes. For anyone who has never taken part or doesn't know anything about Smuggler's Run, it is just as much a game as it is a ride. And when you go in the ride, you go into like a 6-person pod, if you will, where you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon. 2 people are pilots, 2 people are gunners, and 2 people are engineers. And a lot of fans of the ride would often complain about getting stuck as engineer because the ride is not as fun. If you're the engineer, you don't get to pilot or shoot something. So one of the major changes they're making is as the engineer, you will now get to interact with Grogu throughout the ride. And like basically Grogu will like either cause things to mess up that you have to fix, or you have to kind of help take care of Grogu during the ride. And halfway through the ride, there's like 3 or 4 different planets you can shift to, and the engineer seat is the one who gets to decide what planet you go to in this like choose your own adventure type of ride.
Wow.
We saw a lot more stuff about the upcoming Andor season.
Right.
I know you're excited about that one.
Yep. The most cyberpunk Star Wars series ever.
Specifically, there's a quote from Diego Luna that says that fans should rewatch Rogue One after seeing Andor Season 2, as he believes that fans will see it as a completely different film.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that, because Rogue One was pretty good as is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is crazy. Again, direct quote from IGN. It was also shared that this new season will be, quote, more ambitious, end quote, than the first, and will feature 140 sets across 7 stages, 2 backlots, 700 costumes for principals, 150 creatures, 30 droids, and 4,100 VFX shots.
I feel like season 1 got a lot of support, and now the studio believes in it a little bit more than maybe they did with season 1. And they're willing to put some more shit into it, and I think it's only going to make it way cooler.
Agreed.
Then we do have the Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord, which is a new animated series heading to Disney in 2026. It's a Darth Maul show. I don't know much else to say about it.
Yeah. Is it, oh, good. It's animated, too.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes.
Whatever keeps Ray Park from having to do this character again, I'm fine with. Personal beef with this man.
Who does the voice acting usually?
Sam Witwer.
Well, there you go.
Yep. And whatever gets Sam Witwer more work, I'm fine with that too.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Like you already said, Star Wars Visions is getting a volume 3, and one of the exciting parts about that for me was there was a story called The Ninth Jedi in volume 1 of Visions that I felt like was one of the better stories, and it is getting like a sequel in volume 3.
Okay, that's cool.
The Star Wars Outlaws game is getting a new story update. A DLC, if you will. If you already hold the season pass, it'll be included. If not, it'll be $15. And it is a whole new pirate story, apparently.
Okay. I haven't played it yet, but I still want to play it.
Yeah, it looks really great. I haven't played it either. There's part of me that feels like it won't live up to Fallen Order.
Okay.
And like I'm afraid to be disappointed by it, but I will. I'm gonna play it eventually. They also announced that it will be coming out for the Switch 2 as well. I personally think you should only be playing a game like that on the Switch 2 if it's your only option. Even though I will own a Switch 2, I'll probably get it on a PC or PS5. They then released a whole bunch of new figures and toys, or announced, I should say, revealed, including an entire line of figures based on Jedi Survivor.
Ooh, I think I saw one where he was in his poncho and had the Lemmy.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be a Night Sister Marin, a 3-pack of Cal Kestis, Turgle, Scuba Stev, a Rocket Trooper, lots of really cool stuff, and a bunch of Mandalorian figures.
Okay, cool.
Mandalorian figures will include Moff Gideon in his Dark Trooper armor, Cobb Vanth in his look from the Book of Boba Fett. Lots of really cool stuff coming up. And then the last thing I see in the article of announcements from IGN is the fact that they're going to be doing a crossover with the mobile game Monopoly Go. I could not possibly care less.
Yeah.
No shade on you if you play Monopoly Go. I know it's a very popular mobile game. It's
shade.
It is not my speed. And the last thing I think I want to go over is Guild Officer Billy did provide us with an article from the Direct that was some announcements coming out of DC.
Hell yeah. I'm legit excited about where they're going with this. And, you know, this could be me being a bit of a Marvel fanboy and really liking what James Gunn did for Marvel.
Sure.
But it's kind of cool, some of the shit that he's coming out with.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I don't know if I'd say I'm a big fan of any of the stuff he's come out with, except for Creature Commandos. I'm a big Creature Commandos fan at this point.
Oh, yeah. I had to get the GI Robot shirt from T-Villains, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we got the same one.
No, I think we got the different ones, because you got the newer one, right?
Yeah. I had to. It's as soon as I saw that I missed the one that you had, I'm like, I can't miss this one.
It's crazy that T-Villain does have 2 different GI Robot shirts that came out like back to back.
He was the most popular character of that series, and that's saying something because
hands down.
They were all great characters, but he was by far the best.
But that being said, back to my original point, I don't know if I could call myself a big fan of anything he's done other than Creature Commandos, but I haven't disliked any of the other stuff that he's done. Right. Like I've enjoyed, just not been a huge fan of everything else that he's come out with.
Fair.
It all goes into the worth a watch category.
Sure.
That being said, we are getting a second season of Peacemaker.
Which I loved the first season.
Yeah, that'll be coming out August 21st of this year. So
not sure how I feel about this second season though, since John Cena went heel.
Yeah,
I might have to boycott the show. Yep.
Then we have Lanterns.
Fair. Which they've only released a screenshot of this fucking show.
Right.
And people are already bitching online about how old Hal Jordan is. And it's like, really, guys?
People will complain about fucking anything.
Yeah, it's like the whole point of it is like, sure, Hal Jordan was the first Lantern on Earth. He was around for a while. Then we got another Lantern. He was around for a while. Then we got another Lantern. It's like, he is the grizzled veteran of the Lanterns.
We're also going to get more Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. After his appearance in Superman, he's going to be in this show too. So
it's going to be hilarious. I hope they make Guy Gardner look like a complete idiot.
And Nathan Fillion would have no problem playing him that way.
None.
See, then we're getting a second season of Creature Commandos. Which is
exciting. Yeah.
That looks like it's coming out. Let's see. Oh, I don't think we have a date on that one yet. And Lantern's early 2026. We don't have a date on Creature Commander Season 2 yet. I don't care, as long as they're doing it. Let's see. Waller is going to get her own solo series.
I'm not a fan of Amanda Waller.
Sure.
I mean, because she is a bad guy to me.
100%.
Straight up a bad guy. I say that, though, liking the Punisher. So I don't know.
I don't know if you can...
I definitely feel like compare the two.
I mean, you can compare the two. Like it's like when people say apples and oranges. It's like fruit can be compared. Like you can compare the two. That doesn't mean you can put them in the same camp. You know what I mean? Like there are similarities between the two, but Amanda Waller, like there's a similarity in that they both feel like they are doing the right thing, and that the ends justify the means, and they'll do anything to get their version of justice. However, the Punisher does not exploit other people to do it. He gets his own hands dirty. Amanda Waller is exploiting the lives of others to get there, which I think puts her in like a different level of villainy. I think that's one of the differences that makes Punisher an anti-hero and a vigilante, while Amanda Waller is just more straight up villain. That's just my 2 cents on it.
That's fair. I can agree with that. Then
we're getting Paradise Lost, which is apparently about Amazon's before Princess Diana.
Okay. I'm not against that.
Not at all. Booster Gold is getting a TV series, also coming to Max.
Yeah, I'm still upset that we're not going to get a Booster Gold Blue Beetle played by Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, respectively.
Okay. I could see that. Unfortunately, we already have a Blue Beetle, and Nathan Fillion already has 2 roles in DC at this point, at least.
Okay, well, hold on. Yes, we have a Blue Beetle, but do we have a Ted Kord?
I don't know enough about DC to
Ted Kord is the the original one.
Sure.
And he gets his powers from a completely different... Like, he doesn't even really have powers. He's like, a tech guy.
Gotcha.
Whereas the Blue Beetle now has powers.
Gotcha. But we are also getting a Blue Beetle series, so we're getting a Booster Gold series and a Blue Beetle series.
Now, is it going to be Jaime?
Zolo.
Yes. Yep, it's Jaime.
Okay. So
it's
yes.
Sholo.
So yes.
Nice. TV series.
Okay.
Though.
Okay.
That's odd.
It's not 100% confirmed. He expressed hope that the show gets settled out this year before potentially debuting sometime in 2026. So apparently they're in negotiations.
So yeah, I really think that his character, Jaime, is really, really set for movies. Like, there's a lot of just special effects and just a lot of stuff that goes into that character that is just, great, but it's, definitely movie level stuff. I just don't want them to do a disservice to the character by putting them, putting it in a TV series and then not giving it the attention it deserves.
I feel like when it comes to attention, DC is going to be spending more time on their TV series than their movies. If you'll notice, I just said a lot of things that DC's coming out with, and none of them are movies. I think they're seeing success out of their TV series, and they have not seen much success out of their movies.
Sure.
So they might be just putting a whole lot more into TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, if you figured out something that works for your characters, I say fucking go for it.
Yeah.
And, I didn't see any of it, but I do know WrestleMania did happen.
It did.
Did you have anything to say about WrestleMania?
I did not see a single bit of it, unfortunately.
Okay.
I have, with WrestleMania becoming a 2-day event, it's become a bit much.
Sure. The only thing I really know about it as a resident of the internet is Joe Hendry was there.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Because the internet would definitely not let you forget that he exists.
True.
And what he's doing on any given day.
Very true.
But that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. If you say our name, we will not appear, but you can email us castersguild@gmail.com. You can also join us on the Discord. That's where all the fun stuff is happening. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. See ya.